So we're just gonna talk about it because I want to talk about it because it keep lingering. I feel like I'm being spiritually hunted. Like I keep. So this is definitely something past life. I've been feeling this person for a while, and it's like they're trying to get me. Like when I go outside, I feel like there's somebody. It's like in any time that I'm like in the park or a place to where it's like trees and bushes or something like that, it just feels like somebody is watching me. Like like they're trying to um it's like they trying to kidnap me. But the thing is that they love me, but at the same time, it's like they hate me. It's kind of crazy. So it's definitely giving me like Hades, and he's trying to Persephone me. And the thing is that he's so upset because he knows that I know. And, he doesn't like the quote unquote games that I play. But my thing is that I'm not playing games. He's playing games. Because, you want to take me to the underworld. And yes, I would do very well. But the thing is that he not going to treat me right. He trying to get me because it's like he just want to make my life hell. You know what I'm saying? And he just want to trap me. And I keep picking up a wolf. I keep picking up this black wolf. Somebody sent me a vision, and it's like it was a big ass, it was me face to face with this big wolf, and he was just growling at me. And, I had backed up, but at the same time, it's kind of like it felt kind of sexy to me too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to, I'm just like, is this your black wolf? You know, are you lusty? Like, what's up? I'm trust is so hard out here. You know what I mean? It really is. And, I always have to deal with these men to where they're always trying to intimidate me. And the thing just be is, I'm a dark woman though. So I like dark masculinity. It's very sexy to me, but motherfuckers is corrupt. They don't have no fucking discipline, and then they just so filled with hate. Like, how can I love on you while you're hating on me? You know? Mm. So I don't know if this is something that I have to go in and work on and heal. But I mean, who wouldn't want to be the queen of the fucking underworld? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I would love to hermit and go underground for the winter and come out during the spring and enjoy the summer and go back to the underworld in the winter. I would, but it's just like I can't even enjoy just the thought of it because I know this person do not have good intentions for me. And I'm just like, like you're a blessing blocker. You want me to bring life to the underworld, but you want to kill off the life. I don't have to I don't have to be like you in order to love you or to understand you. I don't have to be like you to rule next to you. I can deal with a lot of shit. The love makes it worth it, but if there's no love there, then It's void to me. It's pointless. I just, I would love to have a powerful, scary man that can protect me, you know, and make me feel safe. I don't have to do all the fucking work myself, but it just does not have the discipline. Don't have the discipline. I know you don't have the discipline. And I know the intentions are not there. And then it's like he gets so upset because he know that I know. And he thinks that I'm playing games with him. A part of me is, because I'm resentful as to your fucked up intentions towards me. I want to be loved. I think at this point in time in my life, I have accepted a lot, I have accepted the reality of human beings, of human nature. But I want to be loved. I don't want to be sleeping with no more enemies. I don't want to be housed and be sharing an environment with somebody I got to keep one eye open with. My fantasy has always been, just having like a real dangerous, like man. But I'm the only one that he's soft on, you know. But that's a fantasy because there's no way that you can be dangerous and love me. It'll be more of an obsession and a possession. I don't want somebody abusing me. I don't want somebody dragging me. It's like he just be sitting back. He just be watching. And I could just hear him like growling in his head. He caused some type of injustice between us. And he wants to bring me down because he can't rise, to put things back into harmony. And so it's like he gets upset. I won't fall for the antics. And then, to be quite honest, I'm very upset that I can't have a cat. That's really creating a little animosity within me right now. I don't I shouldn't My thing is I want an animal to choose me. But I really want a cat. But I don't want no cat and then the cat not happy to be with me. And then it's like I can't provide a fulfilling life for the cat. And I just don't want one. I want two. I want them to have babies. And I want to watch them grow. And I want to watch them as parents have their babies. And they just all just grow up together. Ugh. I wish my dog could have a female partner. And I want him to have babies. It would be nice to see my dog as a father. He watches my son's father be a father to his son. And then it would be nice to see him responsible, just a little responsible for something other than just being taken care of. He'll have something to take care. He'll have something to take care of. You know, let's just get into the goddamn reading. Give me some information on this past life. Give me some information on this past life. My thing is, I like a possessive man. I like a controlling man. But the thing is that human being, you cannot trust another human with that much power. You cannot hand over your power to another human being like that, because it's the inevitable that they will take advantage of it. You know, it's kind of like, that's why, motherfucker, it's like, you got to love me. Because if you love me, even though you know you possess me and that I give up the control to you, it creates this worry freeness for you. Not this power hungry person. But see, that's the thing though, because what we ideal, that shit is just not real. And you have to be careful with your ideals, because sometimes we'll see somebody and we'll tell ourselves, oh, they have potential. You know, fuck that. Don't trust the potential, because people are people and they have the right to be themselves and who they are. If you don't agree with it, then that's just not for you. You know what I mean? Situation is kind of making me sad. Cause it's like, it's the dark, dangerous guy, but he's fucked up. He's gonna treat me fucked up. Hades didn't do that to Persephone, but like I be telling people when we deal with past lives, it's not about reliving a past life. It's about changing it and doing it different. It's about the reconciliation of things and moving on and creating a new story. They don't get it. So the thing is that, you know, Hades loved Persephone. And after some time, you know, he even allowed her to have a young lover. Anything to keep her happy. He knew that he was the number one man in her heart. He knew that he had her. You know, now the thing is that Hades, you know, there was a woman around, but, you know, nobody could take Persephone's spot in his heart. He loved her so much, he allowed her to have a young lover in the underworld, in his world, in his kingdom. You know, so for me to think like that would be ridiculous, because ain't no man gonna do that. Ain't no man gonna do that shit. So that's what I'm saying. In order to break that, it would have to be the opposite. But that's not what I want. Okay, so we have the tower in the position of the crown. So this is exposure. Okay. This is a realization, but it's kind of like somebody knew something was coming. They didn't know it was coming, but they know. It's like they understand the realization. They understand the exposure. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Three of Wands, the Empress, Page of Swords in reverse, King of Swords, Eight of Cups. Reversals are the past. Okay. Now, for somebody on the for somebody who somebody may be projecting, there may be an outside party. Somebody is experiencing misfortune because they're not who they say that they are. This is also somebody to where it's like they try to be an overachiever. Okay, like unreasonable goals. And then on top of that, it's like a toxic community, a toxic family. You know, this person is going back to their past, whoever that person is. So then we're left here with the Three of Wands, the Empress, and the King of Swords. Three of Wands is giving me pioneer. So the Three of Wands and the Empress are connected. There's a lot of yellow here, right? Yellow meaning solar plex. The Empress wears the crown of enlightenment, 12-star crown. There's a lot of orange and red here too, with a little bit of blue and green. So I'm guessing I'm the Empress, as well as the Pioneer. But we're dealing with threes here. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there was a third person. This person, they went back to their ex. So the Three of Wands is going to represent the wandering. This is the wanderer, So I believe during this time, it's more so of me. It's more so of my time to have experiences and just kind of explore, And when I say explore, it really has a lot to do with just having different experiences, like it's like an exploration, going to different places, like meeting new people. So with the King of Swords here, so is this him? Okay, so I absolutely have no idea who this person could be. But the thing is that it's like this person uses their words. The Empress sits on her throne. She's not going to move. She's not going to come down. The Empress is the wife, and the Hierophant is the husband. So when it comes to this King of Swords, it's kind of like, you're not my husband. King of Swords represents decision. That's what I'm saying. Like, they made a decision about me, but I don't want to go to the underworld. I'm not going to let you make my life hell. Like, I think I was born in hell, to be quite honest. I had Jim Jones as a mother. Then I'm just saying, I'm speaking facts, baby. And then, I ended up in a relationship and then having a child with somebody, that is very catalytic to my growth, which has been very trying. I'm tired. I want to be loved. I want to be cuddled. I want to be adored. I want to be fed. I want to be fed good foods. I want to be open. I want to be vulnerable. I want to be beautiful, my beautiful self. I cannot be my beautiful self in the world, but I want to be that at home. And I want that to be a gift. But if he cannot see the gift, then the gift is not for him. So we go from the King of Swords to the Tower. So how do we get there? How do we get to the Tower? Because I think that this individual is starting to realize something about me, something beautiful about me. You know, if it's kind of like if you were to take me to the underworld, it wouldn't even be the underworld anymore. You know, it would be so beautiful there. Instead of skulls and bones, it'd be pomegranates, rose bushes, and trees. You know what I'm saying? So my energy naturally triggers and transforms people. It's not that I want to change anybody, that's just who I am. That's just what my energy does. Like, I will transform your life. But if you are meant to rule the underworld, then I'm not helpful to your kingdom. And it's just like, you're really going to hate me. You're really going to hate me. And you're always going to be triggered by me. Because there's always going to be this pressure for you to feel to keep up with me. Because you want to see me happy. But without being myself, I can't be happy. And without you being yourself, you can't be happy with me. Can we call a truce? Can we call a truce? Was there issues in Hades and Persephone's relationship? You see, there was no issues. I didn't think so. If a man will allow his woman, to be with another man right up under his nose, I mean, but at the same time, these are gods and goddesses. So, they don't think like humans. They don't relate as human. Right? We have the empress and we have a king. The king cannot keep up with the responsibilities of the empire. So this is where, you would feel a lot of the pressure. It would be very oppressive. It would be very overwhelming. You wouldn't be happy. A king rules the kingdom. He does not rule an empire. The kingdom, the people service the kingdom, and the empire services the people. Sometimes an empire, I know that people compare empire to like richness and all that type of shit, but I'm talking about mentality. So sometimes it's not about physical wealth. It is about moral and spiritual. Because an empire, if it's servicing the people, it's purposeful. Empress is charity. So, neither one would be happy, because if I was to be in a kingdom, there are just a lot of things about the kingdom that I'm not going for, because it's all based around wealth. I'm all about the love, and I know love doesn't put food on the table, but with manifestation abilities, it does. So, you know, So the thing is that, it's just not a match. I'm not who you're really looking for. But it's kind of like the beauty in me attracts you. And the thing is that you may not even be physically, like all of that, physically attracted to me. But you love the beauty just of me as a whole. But King is very physical. And then kings, they do whatever they want because they have other people running the kingdom. So he, I don't know if anybody studied history, like there's a lot of kings, they ain't really shit. King Caesar, ain't he the one that let them crucify Jesus? I wouldn't go for that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to be with a man who could just wash his hands and turn his back on a Messiah, an extraterrestrial. I can't do that. Nobody deserves to feel undeserving or live a life of oppression and pressure that they have to be something other than what God calls them to be. You are called to be a king. So be the king and rule your kingdom. You know, your queen, your queen is waiting for you. It's not that you can't have me. I believe I explained things earlier. So it's not that you can't have me. It's just not going to work. You will be miserable or I would be miserable, even though I kind of feel like you would want me to be miserable. But you think that I'm beautiful, you know? But the beauty in me is natural and it's growth. Gold does not grow, but flowers do. And flowers are very vulnerable because they're so beautiful. So people are always trying to pick the flowers and cut the flowers. Once you cut a flower from its roots, it stops growing. You know what I'm saying? So, the beauty of a flower is it's kind of dangerous. Well, let's not say dangerous. It's just very vulnerable. And then sometimes I can be a peacock, right? So when you think about a peacock scares off predators with the beauty of its feathers. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes something, have you ever experienced somebody so beautiful it makes you sick to your stomach and you don't understand why? So that's what I'm saying. That's what it would be like between us. It would just be very uncomfortable for the both of us. But you need to understand that it's not, it has nothing to do with if you're worthy or if you're good enough. It's just not meant to be. It saves both you and me. So I hope that you can accept that. And you can free yourself and you can live the life that you really deserve and a life that you want. And somebody who can accept you for exactly who you are. You know. But I'm gonna end it there. So until next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.